Here we are, and with Healing You with Gloria, and I'm Gloria's co-host, Gail Donohue, and thank you all for being with us here today. And I want to pick up where we left off last time when we were talking about dynamic urge. And that's an interesting two words that are together. So can you tell us a little bit more about what does that mean in the creative process?
Well, yeah, thanks. The dynamic urge is a human trait that we all have. And it's having a desire that are from ourselves rather than an outcome of anything else. It's just something that it sparks us. And it comes in different forms, and there's actual different frames that we can view it from. So the best way that I've learned to describe these frames is to imagine a video camera. So if it were doing an extreme close-up, the details would just fill the screen. And when you move back to like a medium shot, we'd actually be able to begin to see the shapes and the patterns and understand the relationship of the elements to each other that are in the picture. And if we backed up even further to an extreme long shot, then we'd actually lose any sense of detail, and we wouldn't even know what we were looking at. So those three different types of camera positions, we can think of them as a way of framing up what we are actually considering. And I found this a fascinating thing to do personally, to see, well, how is that for me? So using this metaphor, the extreme close-up shot in the level of dynamic urge is our appetites, our instincts, and our impulses. So do you know anybody whose life is totally organized around their appetite or their impulses?
Well, as you were, I don't know if this is along the line that you're thinking of, but I have to think of some of what was coming to mind. And as you talked about, looking at detail, was like a great artist like Picasso or something. That like he just really had this urge to paint the way he wanted to paint, and he didn't do it related to any conformity of what was done during the time.
Yes, and I would actually, in my experience, an artist, they have the ability to move their camera lens back and forth. And so when we're thinking about just the extreme close-up shot, and when you think about appetite, instincts, and impulses, what comes to my mind is, fast food industry. They know how to bring those urges and those appetites forward, right?
Yeah.
So this is like looking at how time can move in like short episodes and thoughts. And so that kind of desire calls for a quick gratification.
Mm.
And that can be resolved quickly. Or, I mean, if it can't be resolved quickly, then it's really hard to accomplish, right?
Yeah. Well, it kind of is it linked to what we've talked about before about having that delayed gratification of being able to.
If we can't delay gratification, we can't create.
Yeah.
Because in the terms of the structural tension, a person just can't tolerate the states of the difference between their longer range goals and the current situation in relationship to those goals.
Mm-hmm.
So they're unable to support the longer term projects.
Right. Yeah, because it's hard to stay in that uncomfortable place and
can't tolerate it.
Yeah.
So the person who is focused from the vantage of a close-up, they can't easily build a business or direct a film. They can't develop a product or manage a team of people or even grow a garden or write a book, because those projects actually demand sustained development over time. And that's not within this person's natural reach.
Mm-hmm.
But the exciting thing is we can change the frame. And this is one of the things that people can get to experience when they work with us.
Mhm.
So just as a camera can move from a close-up to a medium shot, we can
Mhm.
back up and see from a broader vantage point and refocus.
You say that they, with the programming, that they can actually expand their reach when you use that word, like grow it so that they can postpone the gratification and stay with the process. And
Well, they can begin to recognize the patterns without making them wrong.
yeah, yeah. And not needing to have that instant detailed gratification right away, but be able to sit in the complexity and the ambiguity and a little bit of discomfort because they know something else is going to be coming as a better result.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a more satisfying result because it's going to be in alignment with their true values and aspirations. So this might be a good place to segue to talk about those different camera lenses and pick up in our next episode.
All right. Sounds like a great idea. Thanks, Gloria.
Okay.